Everyone, this is Pastor Bell with just a quick word. Today, what I want to say is a reminder that wisdom is ageless and timeless. Now, this is something that may be simple for some of us, but I think it's a reminder we need to hear from time to time. I'll admit to my own prejudice I have. When I'm looking for a book on ministry, on preaching, on teaching, on youth work, or on anything, I tend to favor things that were published more recently. Now, part of this, I think, is a good reason because the world is ever changing. And so if something was published 30 years ago, the reality that it's speaking to it about just might no longer exist. And so it's not useful for today. But other times I do it for a not so good reason. It's because it looks better. I literally judge a book by its cover, and because the design is better, or it seems, better marketed, it seems like it'll be more relevant, I'm attracted to buy that book instead. Of course, that's not always the case, right? Newer is not always better in ministry. And in fact, some of the best books that I've read were published in the 60s or 70s or 20s or the 19th century or even earlier. And they continue to speak into today in a real and relevant fashion because wisdom is ageless and timeless. And that's something we need to remember. Just because someone is giving us some advice and they're a little older, right? And we think, they got to be out of touch with the world today. What do they know about working today, about being a parent today? They did that decades ago. What do they know about running a business in today's world or being a Christian? Well, maybe they know more than we would expect. Maybe all that experiences and watching and listening and learning and failing and trying and failing again has taught them something that we need to hear. Conversely, just because someone lacks years and experience, just because they're in their early 20s, and we say, what do they know? They haven't lived. They're kids, right? All the knowledge they have came out of a book. Well, maybe from that learning and listening and reading and seeing what others have done, coming at it with fresh eyes and a fresher brain, certainly far fresher than mine, they see something that the rest of us have missed. And so they bring some wisdom of their own, the wisdom of an outsider. The same can be said for someone who's coming into a church and doesn't know the way we've always done it. They bring a fresh perspective that can be really helpful for a congregation and for leadership. My point is this: don't disregard anyone because of their age. Now, I'm kind of paraphrasing the Apostle Paul there when he says, hey, to Timothy, his young assistant, don't let anyone put you down because you're young. Well, don't let anyone put you down because you're young or you're old. And don't accept or disregard wisdom because the person has experience or lacks it. But continue to test everything you are given, because that timeless wisdom we need for our life, that thing that speaks to us more deeply, it might come from the most unexpected places, from the 90-year-old that we think must be way out of touch with the world today and yet has something profound to say to us, or the teenager who is just starting out in life and yet sees something that we've missed in the past, but that's something we need to see with our own eyes as well. God has spoken through kids. He's spoken through geriatrics. He's spoken through people who are hundreds of years old, and for people who are not even teenagers, because wisdom is ageless and timeless. So keep listening for that good wisdom that comes from people of all ages and all experiences, and it ultimately comes from the inspiration of the Holy Spirit and God, because that wisdom really is helpful in life. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I hope you're staying safe. God bless. Bye now.